I am 100% Charlie Brown right now. Lucy has the football down. I'm coming up to kick, and she's going to pull it away. But I have to, call it as I see it. I have to say the truth. The Panthers are facing a winnable game again.
Oh, don't put that hope in me, Tim.
I don't want to. I don't want to. I've been down this path 12 times. Actually, not all 12 have been winnable. But I've been down this path too many times, and they've lost too many times. But the Panthers are facing a team that is tied for the division lead.
You've seen this story before. Matter of fact, you're on chapter 12. Is what you're saying.
But I just looking at these teams, I have to, call it. The Falcons are 6-7 and just out of the playoffs, right? If the season ended right now, they wouldn't make the playoffs as a division winner due to tiebreakers, right? They are tied with both the Saints and the Bucs as the division leader in the NFC South, 6-7. But guess what? The Bucs are the division leader. They would be in the playoffs. They are 6-7 also. They've played a similar schedule, and the Panthers lost to them by just 3 points a couple of weeks ago. I'll put it this way. The Falcons, as they are right now, are not better than the Texans were when the Panthers beat them for Carolina's only win of the season. So it's a possibility. It's the irony of it. You want to break it down fully? The reason why they're beatable is because they're doing the reverse Panthers.
Okay.
Ready for this?
All right.
They have everything but the quarterback.
I thought that's true, but I thought you were going to say the real reason why they're winnable matches because they play in the NFC South also with the Carolina Panthers, and somebody's got to win it at this point.
We've had that conversation a few times, right? When the Panthers play, after like 7-8 games, when they played as bad as they did, I started to get some of the feedback of, and your station talked about the Panthers being possible in the playoffs this year. And I was going like, wait a second. We weren't talking about the Panthers being possible in the playoffs because the Panthers are good. We were talking about the Panthers being possible in the playoffs because the division is bad. And that is true, right? The three leaders right now are 6-7, okay? That's the tie for the NFC South division lead, one of which the Panthers are playing this weekend. After 2 weeks, those three that are 6-7 were all 2-0. Everyone other than the Panthers was 2-0 through 2 weeks. So since then, everyone in the division is 4-7 or worse. They're a bad division. So the reason why the Falcons are is because what I said, right? They're doing the reverse Panthers. They have everything but the quarterback on the roster. They have a top 10 pick at running back. They have a top 10 pick at tight end. They have a top 10 pick at wide receiver. All talented. Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Drake London. All talented. Desmond Ridder, though, he can't even hold a full grasp on the starting job with Taylor Heineke behind him. Because of that, they are beatable. If I'm the Panthers defense, I'm licking my chops thinking we can rattle whoever's playing quarterback for the Falcons. And once that happens, you can look at Bryce in the offense and say, you just have to score one more point than them. You don't have to do anything crazy. And at some point, you just got to win one. I'm having a conversation right now with a group of football players a group of people I trust when it comes talking to football, and it's about the randomness. It's about how sometimes the best teams, the top seeds, go into the playoffs and they lose their first game. And it's true, right? The randomness. At a certain point, the Panthers just have to get the randomness on their side. And you know what can help with that? Weather. Supposed to be some bad weather this weekend.
As you heard. WRL weather alert.
There you go.
Weather alert day on Sunday.
The weather can be the equalizer, right? What used to be a 7-yard run and then they get tackled might turn into a 7-yard run, and because the ball is wet, turns into a fumble. You recover it, who knows? Ball slips out of the quarterback's hands. What would have been an accurate pass on a nice sunny day turns into an inaccurate pass and an interception. Like you can the weather can be the equalizer you need. At a certain point, the Panthers just have to win one, and I'm just saying this one's winnable. I'm not saying they're going to be favored. Matter of fact, I don't think they're going to be favored in any game this year. But At this point, should we celebrate winnable? Let's be real. If they were going in to play Philly, if they were going in to play San Fran, Philly's even on a downturn, but if they were going in to play San Fran or Dallas or something along those lines, I'd go, you know what? Probably not going to win this one. Against the Falcons, you got to believe, right? This is one of those you circle on the roster and say you're telling me there's a chance. You circle on the schedule. Speaking of the weather, we have some audio from Chris Tabor, the interim head coach, on if the weather could change plans when it looks at their game plan.
I think what you try to do on any of the game plan is like I always look at the weather at the beginning of the week, and as you build your plan appropriate for the team that you're playing, you also begin to put into things based off of the weather, how we might have to adjust, but yet still stay with the same concepts that you want to stay with. And I think that our staff has done that. So, like I say, it's an unknown right now, but we'll see how she plays.
You have to win the unknowns. You have to handle the weather better, right? You have to. And by the way, the Falcons, they run the ball. Not always with Bijan, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Sometimes it's Algier, sometimes it's Cordero Patterson. You have to match that. Chuba Hubbard should be a big game. Like it's you have to get up for the games you can win if you're the Panthers.
This is also going to be very cliche, Tim, and you might tell me to just leave the studio being the football guy that you are.
I love a good cliche.
They're used to playing in a dome.
Oh, the Falcons are, correct.
They're used to playing in a dome. You have to take advantage of the mythical creatures that are summoning a spell over Bank of America Stadium to set up the Panthers possibly winning this game.
The old teams that play in a dome are soft argument.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
It's real. There are those things. If a team from the South has to go up and play a game in the North, when Miami has to go play in Buffalo, I'm always going, you know what? They don't play in a dome, but they're not used to the cold. Same thing for dome teams.
I know so many people are probably like, you're kidding me, Graham. That's really what you're going with, as this is the likelihood that guys at this point we'll take what we can get, right?
Do you know what
as far as reasons why the Panthers could win this game? Do
you know what temperature it is in domes in the NFL?
It must be pretty cold since Justin Herbert was wearing a hoodie last night on the sideline. I still don't understand that.
72.5 degrees.
Okay.
Every single NFL domed stadium, if you can control the temperature, has to be, by rule, set at 72.5 degrees to prevent. I don't know if you probably didn't even get these legends. The Red Auerbach from the Celtics.
No, I did not.
Supposedly, the Boston Garden, he used to set it to like 104 because he thought his team was better conditioned and every other team would cramp up when they were playing road games. So the NFL doesn't let you pick your temperature. So it has to be 72.5 if you're playing inside. So every road team, right, when they go play outside, they're used to their games at home being 72.5. So if it's raining, it's a little chilly. Graham, that's not cliche at all. That's a legitimate thing. And it's another reason why the Panthers have to get up for the ones they can win, right? If you're the Chiefs, you can win every game, right? So if you lose a couple that you have a chance at winning, right? Okay, so you go from the 1 seed to the 3 seed. Big whoop. If you're the Panthers, there might only be, 3 games in the second half of the season that are legitimately winnable. And when they come across, when they come around, you cannot miss the opportunity to put up a real fight. You cannot miss the opportunity to put up a real, challenge to a team that is winnable to beat.
And according to Michael Rothstein on Twitter, Falcons head coach Arthur Smith said many Falcons questionable for Sunday versus Carolina. It seems like they have about 7 players right now that are questionable, 2 that are for sure out.
You know what I have to say about that? You don't miss the Panthers game. If you're a contributor, you're thinking, like, if you're a defensive end, you're thinking like, oh, this is the game I get my extension.
Right. This is the Panthers are everybody's bounce back.
This
game.
is 2.5 sacks, which makes my season long total go from 7 to 9.5. Right. If I'm a defensive back, I'm thinking this is an interception that makes me one of the higher paid guys when I need a new contract.
This gets me on SportsCenter top 10.
You don't miss the Panthers game if you can at all avoid it.